it is usually on the way already. And if you are intent on sprinting through content, there's a hell of a lot less you need to rush through. For some instances where I do skip, like the loop back around in Undeadburg for the crossbow, or something like the 3 tree demon monster things in the Dark Souls 3 swamp, I'm not cutting much content out, and in the inverse event that these are something that I need, they're also not that far out of the way either from the path I need to take anyway. In my opinion, the game needed more universal rewards to populate the world that could have been bundled in with the ones already in the game, especially for the shrine dungeons. These are fairly easy to suggest, so I'll just list them off. Permanent passive stat increases, which also help promote players trying some complementary build stuff like adding a spell or trialing a weapon they may otherwise not have been able to use. This would require a few balance tweaks for power in the world progression, of course, but that's already a huge issue that we'll be getting to momentarily. Clothing sets and cosmetics. Players like getting these, and I don't understand why the game is so stingy with armor in particular, and then dumps an entire set on you all at once here and there. Add a room in the round table hold with a bunch of mannequins that are automatically set to wear each set of armor you find, and you have yourself a hook baited for completionists to be excited about. People show off collections, can have more options to wear them too, and it's relatively easy to implement. Talisman and armor upgrade materials. This is another no-brainer, although if for some reason From doesn't want players upgrading armor anymore, they can just stick to talismans. The game kinda has this already with finding better versions of some talismans, but they're few and far between. Finding a talisman that your build doesn't want could be made exciting if every talisman came with some upgrade material, so you still get to increase the power, incrementally of course, of one you are using. Horse upgrades. Torrent is a core part of the game and sorely neglected. Not only does his dash desperately need some iframes to smooth out mounted combat, you can also have some armor to increase, some health or passive regen from a separate talisman type system for the horse, and some stamina stuff too. Some Bloodborne style weapon gems or a new enchant system for armor would also work. This one is pretty self-explanatory, so I won't waste our time getting into it. And just to be clear, doing all of these would be overkill, but just like when I play Hunt Showdown, I'm just shotgunning to make a point. These suggestions also only work for improving your first playthrough and would actually make the game worse on later ones if it means that much of the shrine content becomes mandatory for progression power, so this would have to be coupled with some improvements and or randomization to that content.